Welcome to weight training number 5. Today we're focusing on glutes and core. So our first exercise is going to be a burpee and a kettlebell swing. So again, just taking the burpee to the next level again. So we're on week 3. You really just have to push through, challenge yourself with the more advanced moves. So again, like the traditional burpee, you're going to jump back into your plank, give me a push-up, jump the feet in. This time you're going to reach for the kettlebell, stay in that low position, and then use the force of glutes to swing up. And to modify, what you can do is reach down to the mat, step back into plank, step up, and then give me the kettlebell swing. So you can eliminate the jump back and the push-up. So our next exercise, again, pretty challenging. This move's a bit more advanced. I struggled with this. You'll see me kind of wobble a little bit. But again, just challenging ourselves. So an elevated side plank with an oblique crunch. So I'm using my ball here. You could use a stool if you had it. You could also use a stability ball. If that's too challenging, you can just do this on the mat. So you can either stack your feet, and again, lift up into that forearm side plank, and you're going to reach the elbow for the knee, or you can stagger the feet, and this will make it a little bit easier. So again, we'll do that on one side and then again on the other side. Our next exercise is going to be a goblet squat, a press, and an overhead tricep extension. So deep goblet squat, press up, and reach back. So again, just so you can see the form, really sinking into the glutes here. So it's all about the glutes on the goblet squat. Holding the weight up is also going to challenge the core. So we're really encompassing the entire body in that one. Next, we're just isolating here. So we're focusing on the glutes with a split squat. So it looks like a lunge position. It's a little bit different. You're going to step the foot pretty far back. And you're really just focusing on using that front leg to press yourself up and controlled lower. So just to show you the traditional squat, both knees are bending about 90 degrees. You really want to step that foot far back. You're almost leaning into that front leg, not the knee. You're sinking straight down. So think about pressing into the heels to use the glutes. And next, we're going to move on to a plank knee twist touch, a squat thrust, and a sumo deadlift. So there's a lot going on here. So we're starting in that plank. So we're twisting towards the opposite side of the body. If you're comfortable enough with balance, if you're strong enough, you can reach to tap the knees. From there, you're going to jump the feet in and perform that sumo deadlift. To modify, you can step back. Just give me 2 straight knee tucks. Step back up. And again, give me the sumo deadlift. So with the sumo deadlift, you're in a wide squat position. Toes are slightly turned out. You're going to keep the back as flat as possible, chest up when you reach for the weight, and then squeeze the glutes to bring yourself up to standing. And next, again, we're isolating. So focusing on the glutes and the hamstrings. We're performing a single leg lift to a single leg deadlift. So with the single leg deadlift, again, we're challenging balance. You're going to start with that weight on the mat. You're going to start with that leg lift. From there, you're going to think about activating the glutes to really squeeze yourself up to standing. So from the starting position, leg lift, single leg deadlift, squeeze up. So on that squeeze up, put all the pressure in the heels. You don't want to use the knees to come up. And if that's too hard, you can perform a traditional deadlift with 2 rear pulses. So again, just to challenge you in a similar way, but a little bit easier. Next up, we're going to use a band to perform a heel press. So I have a loop band. If you have just a traditional flat band, you can tie it to your shoes, and you can place the band under your knee and hang on to it with your other hand. So you don't have to have the loop band to perform this. You could even do this body weight if you don't have bands. But from an all fours position, you're going to start with the right leg in a 90-degree bent position, press through the heel to push the leg up. So it's a small little push. You're really just thinking about using the glutes again to bring that leg higher. So again, here in this workout, we're mixing a lot of endurance exercises. We're mixing a lot of plyometric exercises. So you're really getting a good mix of stuff here. We're isolating. We're doing explosive movements. So it's really going to challenge you in a new way. So our last exercise in the workout is going to be a fire hydrant and a side kick. So let's start exercise number 1. We're going to perform 3 sets of 8 exercises. So let's begin with our burpee and kettlebell swing. So that full motion, the jump back, jump up, and the swing equals 1 rep. So 8 reps total. Between sets, we're going to take about 20 to 60 seconds rest. These moves are a little bit more challenging as they're a bit more explosive, so you can allow your body a little bit more rest time in between. Just try not to surpass that minute. So almost through the set. Try to keep good form throughout. So nice strong push-up, jump in, nice flat back as you engage the glutes to power up into the kettlebell swing. Almost there. So that was set 1. Take a breather and then begin set number 2. So here we go, that's number 1. 8 reps, you can do this. Keep breathing, keep pushing through. Try not to focus on the discomfort. I know it's hard not to as you're in the middle of it, you're sweating. Your heart rate's going up, everything's really active, your brain is super active right now, so you're really focused on just everything happening. Try to drown that out as much as you can. That's really going to help you push through these exercises without really, torturing yourself with thinking about it. It really helps to kind of take yourself outside of the moment so you can keep powering through. Almost there. There we go. 1 more set. So take your breather and then go for it with set number 3. Stay strong. Try not to give up on this set. This is when you have to push the hardest. And really focus on using the abs throughout. So it's definitely glute focused, it's leg focused. You're really using the arms on the push-up here. But you also want to make sure you're engaging the core in order to maintain a nice strong back and to maintain a nice strong kettlebell swing. So almost through this, and then we're going to move on to our elevated side plank. So here we go. If you're going to use something to elevate your legs, go ahead and grab that, set it up on your mat. So we're going to perform 2 sets of 8 reps on one side, and then we'll switch to the other side. So carefully raise up into your forearm side plank. And nice and controlled reps. So elbow to meet the knee in the middle is 1 rep. Almost through it. As you can see, I fell a little bit, so it's okay if you lose your balance. It's pretty challenging on the ball. So that's one set. Take your rest and then begin set number 2. So again, stabilize first and then begin. 8 reps. Almost there. And so again, like any other exercise, if you start out strong on the ball and maybe by the second set, you just can't use the ball anymore, just eliminate it and just go ahead and do stacked feet on the mat. So, on the other side, 8 reps. I had a much harder time on this side, so you might notice that, one side's a bit stronger than the other. So just really focus on the form here. If you need to stop a few times, that's okay. We want to strengthen our weakest side. We want to bring everything, to kind of meet in the middle. So second set, and then we're going to move on. Alright, so we're on to our goblet squat, press, and overhead tricep extension. So starting with the weight up at chest height, you want your legs in a wide position, slight turnout in the toes. Dip the butt as low as you can, making sure that you're driving the hips back and really activating the glutes. So press through the heels, and again press through the heels to activate the glutes to squeeze up to standing. At the top, you're going to press the weight overhead, so working the shoulders. And then we're going to dip the weight back and squeeze up for that tricep extension. So here we're going to perform 3 sets of 10 reps. So that full motion of the squat, press, and extension is 1 rep. So, take your rest and then move on to set number 2. So here we go, and that's 1. We have 9 more to go. Keep going, keep breathing. So you might start feeling fatigued at this point. Just really try to push through. We're going to slow the pace a little bit with our next exercise where we're isolating in the split squat. So just stay strong through this movement. So take your breather and then let's hit the last set. 10 reps. Keep going. You can do this. You're almost through these. Don't hold the breath. Make sure you're breathing. Just exhale on the contractions. Inhale in between. Remember, those lungs are open. You want to inhale. So, moving on to our split squat. So I'm using free weights here. If you want to use your kettlebell, that's fine. If you want to use a ball, weight plate, there's a lot of different options, but you want to try to use some weight here. 3 sets of 8. We're going to perform them all on one side before moving on to the other. So, Nice deep split squat. So back leg should be maybe 3.5 to 4 feet behind. You're really focusing on that front leg. So you want to use a moderate weight here. I think I'm using about 15 pounds. So if that's too light for you, go heavier. If it's a good weight for you, go for it. If it's too much, then just try to gauge where you're going to be. But you want it to feel challenging. So once you complete 3 sets on one side, you're going to move on to the other. And again, same position, 3 sets of 8. You can kind of catch your breath here a little bit too, so really breathe. Again, maybe a little bit less rest here, as this isn't as explosive an exercise as some of the other ones that we've done. So maybe 20 seconds. One more set. So our next exercise coming up is the plank knee twist touch, squat thrust, and sumo deadlift. So get ready to grab your heaviest weight, place it in front of you, start in a plank position, perform the knee twist and touch, jump the legs in, and perform the sumo deadlift. So strong jump in, grab the weight, and power up from the bottom. So that full motion equals 1 rep. We're going to perform 2 sets of 8. Keep going, keep driving. Push through. There's only 2 sets of this one. So, set number 1 done. Take your breather. And then when you're ready, complete your last set. So nice strong knee twist and touch. Jump the feet in. So when you jump into that squat position, it's almost going to be a modified plie. So there is a good turnout in the feet. And you really want to sink deep into that as you grab the weight and engage the glutes to power up. It's also great work for the core too. So you don't always build abs on the mat. A lot of these functional movements are really what kind of get you that 6-pack, in line with a really good low-carb diet. Almost through it. So, next up we have our single leg lift and single leg deadlift. So start in that low position. Back foot's going to lift up. And you're going to engage the glutes and use the front leg to squeeze up. So we're performing 3 sets of 8 on each side. So flat back, abs in tight. As you lower, you're really hinging over the hips. So you're not bending through the knees to lift or to lower. You're kind of just maintaining that slight bend in the knee as you engage the glutes and use your core to move. So one more set to go on that side, and then we're going to switch.
I'm not sure if I should show you what I found. Has it gone for good, or is it coming back around? Isn't it hard to make up your mind when you're losing and your fuse is by your side? And I thought I was
So here we go, set number 3.
forever. Or maybe I was mistaken, but I just cannot manage to make it through the day without thinking of you lately. I'm not sure if I should show you what I
So keep breathing, keep pushing through.
or is it coming back around?
So again, it's just the same thing, 3 sets on the other side.
When you're losing and your fuse is by your side.
So we're going to start lowering our heart rate a little bit with the next 2 exercises. So keep pushing. You're almost there. Really squeeze that leg up on the leg lift. Alright, so after the set, we have our heel press with the band coming up next. So get your band set up. So if you have the loop band, you're going to want to loop it over both feet. You're going to hook one side on top of your shoe. The other half is going to be hooked around your knee. So you're really using your knee to hold the band down. So press through the heel, squeeze the butt to lift the leg up in that bent position. So you can either stay up on the arms, or you could come down to your forearms. Otherwise, it's still challenging for the glutes. That doesn't change. Just if your arms are tired, it might be a little bit better to go on your forearms, and you're still working your core here too, which is great. So 2 sets of 20 on each side. Go ahead and switch to the other side. So you're just going to switch the position of the band, move the portion that was over your knee, over your foot, and switch to the other side, move it under the knee. So I'm going to stay on my forearms here. And again, press through the heel, squeeze the glutes to bring that foot towards the ceiling. And again, squeeze your abs here too. This way you're not arching through the back to lift up in any way. You want to make sure the back is nice and flat. So after 20 reps, you can take a little breather. We've got one more set to go.
The mirror's image, it tells me it's home time.
One more exercise to go. We're almost there.
'Cause you're not by my side. And as I arrived, I thought I
So our last one is the fire hydrant and side lift. So 2 sets of 12 reps per side. So at this point, you're going to feel pretty fatigued from everything else. So just really do your best to push through, maintain good form, stay strong in the hips and in the abs. Take a breather, and then second set. Almost there, and then we're going to switch sides. So let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, 2 sets of 12 reps. So on that fire hydrant, you're lifting your knee out to the side with a 90-degree bend. As you lower, you're going to prepare to raise the leg up and kick to the side. So that full motion of the fire hydrant and kick is 1 rep. So your hips might be a little burnt out at that point. You can take a little stretch if need be. And here we go with our last set, almost through the workout, and then we're going to perform just a short stretch, nothing too major. You always want to make sure to stretch after each workout. So right from there, let's just go ahead and stretch back into child's pose. So knees wide, toes together. Sink the hips back. Sit on your heels. So from there, we're just going to do a small little flow. So from plank to chaturanga, up dog. Let's go right into down dog. And let's just perform a little hamstring stretch. So just alternate a slight little knee bend. Help work into that stretch a little bit deeper. And next, let's go into a lunge. And then we're going to straighten the legs out. So back leg, you want to make sure that foot is angled out about 45 degrees. Front foot is straight ahead. You can grab your ankles, pull yourself a little bit deeper. From there, we're going to rotate forward to a nice wide-legged stretch. So again, you can grab the ankles to move deeper into the stretch. And we're just going to rotate right to the other side. So this is great for stretching out hamstrings, stretching out the calves, releasing some of the tension. So let's just step forward into a forward fold. Reach for the mat. You can grab your toes to pull yourself a little bit deeper. And let's come up for a flat back. And let's get really deep in the stretch so you can grab the back of the calves. And reach up to the top. Awesome job, guys.